Alright, we're going to go through a very flat mix, completely unprocessed and fairly unmixed raw take of Unchain My Heart, performed by TRBR on December 28th, 2017. Okay, so here we go. Here's the mix.
Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, don't love me no more. Let me sit here and love me, but you don't care, baby, love me. Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't love me no more. You let me sit here and love you, and you don't care about a piece of me. So I'm under your spell, like a man in a trance. Nothing you don't know, and I'm losing a chance. Unchain my heart, baby, don't fall away. Unchain my heart, you will win my day. Love you, and you don't care about being with me. So I'm under your spell, like a man in a trance. But you know darn well, well, I'm gonna take a chance. So unchain my heart, don't let me go far away. Unchain my heart, you will run me down the day. Let me sit here on a pillowcase. You let my love go, don't you waste a chance. Baby, set me free. Let my love go away. I'm a man, baby. Don't you understand?
Phil being tried out on vocals, JR on guitars, JR Ross and David Brummett on bass, Brian Ottman on drums, Wes on keyboards, and me engineering. And so a lot of desired, this is a horrible raw take, which I had to doctor up. Took several hours and several days to doctor up with the liquid mix in the other recording. But the snare just sucks. And so I had to replace it with a not replace, I had to enhance it with sampled snares in the other recording. The JR's amp that he used is a digital modeling amp. Sounds very muddy in this raw take, and yeah, completely sucks, and it was a bitch trying to fix that in post, like you heard in the other recording. And David's vocal mic SM58 by Shure. It was, you know, pointing straight at the drums, so there's a lot of room leakage and drum leakage, which horrified the whole mix, and so you can't really hear him clearly, and also the keyboards you can't hear very clearly. There's not much depth. And a lot of it is also the unexciting Audix mics that unfortunately, you know, I guess was recommended to us, but it's just not exciting. And you know, there's an SM57 underneath the snare that I added, but and some other mics too. But it's just the overhead Audio-Technica or something. It's not exciting either, and it was pointed. There's some phasing issues, so it really wasn't picking up the cymbals very clearly. So that was another bitch to fix in post. So anyway, this is I guess a lesson in what not to do, because a live capture should actually sound very close to a final mix if you do it right. So you know, and plus we lacked the preamps, so we couldn't really do justice to any of these mics. So they all sound very flat sounding. So anyway, in the other mix that I showed, which was much improved, I actually put liquid mixes on every one of the channels, so you get analog, vintage, compression, and EQ, and a lot of beautiful distortion and 3D and depth. But here it's a very flat mix, so you know, each channel has their own, what Cakewalk calls pro channels, and I have them all off, because this is on, that's off, on, off. And you know, that comes with the console emulation, where you can get S-type being SSL type, N-type being Neve type, and A-type being an API type, which is more like heavy metal console. And you know, EQ and other channel strip stuff you can add, which is a very nice feature about Cakewalk, because you know, unlike other DAWs, Cakewalk comes with so much just out of the package. Like in Pro Tools, Pro Tools doesn't even have a gain knob. It's ridiculous. But so you have to use a separate plug-in in Pro Tools just to put a gain knob or a trim, and a lot of that is included in Cakewalk just right out of the box. So it's pretty cool. But you know, I like working with Pro Tools too.